Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where this week we'll be looking at A Song for the Soul from Season 4, which, it comes after a run of particularly problematic and upsetting episodes. Season 4 really goes fucking heavy.
Yep, and it's our first episode with a launch involving a black person and a woman.
Yeah.
And another thing, this is our second time recording this episode. Yay!
No, don't pull behind the No, don't look behind the curtain. Oh my god, he's emulating the Wizard of Oz. You're not supposed to look behind the curtain and see the little man playing with the thing. No.
I mean,
We're ripping the curtain open so we can just let the feelings out now.
I don't want to talk about this episode again. Oh god, it sucks.
The professionalism is taking a bit of a mojito break, shall we say?
We shot. Yeah, basically professionalism in this episode was taken out behind the farmhouse, like Old Yeller. I'm sorry, we're doing.
I'm attempting to be a host and keeping it on track, but knowing what I know about podcast hosting and what Reniak has had to deal with, that's not going to happen. But by God, I'm going to try. Welcome to Quantum Leap Reviews. I'm joined by my two usual co-leapers, Michael Hoovian and Sean Dillon. Say hello.
Fuck off.
Love you too. And this is Song for the Soul, which did not exactly endear itself to our dear esteemed friend Sean Dillon.
Hey, sure. I mean, like I said before in the first time round.
Well, they don't know that.
And the more I learn about this episode, the more I hate it.
Yay.
Yeah.
So what? I'm going to tell him one fun thing that happened in between takes of this, since you've revealed the curtain, which is I have received a hardcover book in the mail. You may know that I have ended the past two podcasts with a "We Miss You, Matt." And it's time to tell you all what that's a reference to, if you don't know. There's another podcast, a more popular Quantum Leap podcast, called simply the Quantum Leap Podcast, which I have been a fan of for some time. One of its hosts was a British fellow named Matt Dale, who was very knowledgeable about the Quantum Leap, a huge super fan, a Doctor Who super fan as well. And he wrote this book called Beyond the Mirror Image. It's a reference guide to Quantum Leap, the first volume of which covers the original show, and there's a volume 2 that covers season 1 of the reboot. Unfortunately and tragically, Matt Dale passed away in the holiday of 2023, so he will be missed. He was a great podcaster, but I have his book, I have his words here, and I learned some fun facts about Song for the Soul, like that writer Deborah Pratt wrote it in 3 days.
72-hour period. A 72-hour long period. That basically, this was probably written in like an anger, like just like I just sat down and she wrote it out angrily. Because of the other thing we learned about this podcast, right around basically before we learned about these two things, we also learned that in this podcast we may have to cover a leak to die for.
Oh God!
This past week has been.
Hates us.
Yeah, this past week has.
You've added all sorts of shit to the wheel. For God's sakes, I think we have a My Little Pony comic, the Quantum Leap Stonewall comic, a Bochi the Rock episode. We might have the fucking Wizard of Oz on here for all I know.
No, I think Return to Oz is on there. Not the Wizard of Oz. That's for Twin Peaks. But I think Return to Oz is on the wheel.
I don't know why it is.
About that Stonewall comic. The guy who wrote it, Andy Mangels, was the editor on Gay Comics. This is notable because he was the one who gave Alison Bechdel a start with regards to her graphic novel, Fun Home. In fact, Bechdel herself would thank him in a keynote speech each delivered at the City of University of New York. University of New York.
Why does, like, Quantum Leap... I swear to God, Quantum Leap is, like, the gold mine of, like, low, like, A rank to, like, B actors. And, like, I swear to God. It's like just the gold mine.
See, hearing that factoid, I feel like we should talk about something other than the man.
Shall we begin? Shall we begin this podcast?
All right.
by
Yes.
talking about-
So we're taking a little haphazard. I know I'm trying to be nice to the viewers because they didn't hear the first draft of this. But for the reference, for professionalism, this leap takes place in Chicago in April 1963, and Sam leaps into part of a soul singing trio.
Now
What
I'm
number?
gonna, now I'm gonna state this for the record, and then I'll probably join with two co-hosts here. The person Sam leaps into and her friend, and like I like her small. Besides one terrible person we cover later, rumbling, I kind of like the small group. I do. It's not like a big, like, like all these side characters. It's really focused on just these people.
Yeah.
These four individuals.
And well, two others.
I mean, the third girl is honestly a bit flat.
Yeah, that's the one problem, is that in a 72-hour script, all you're gonna get is basically
And the baddie of the episode is
Let's.
we'll get to him.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
You know what this is? This is a Chibnall script for a Quantum Leap episode.
I knew you were gonna go there. Low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit. You're talking about rush scripts and somebody not getting preferential treatment. My brain went, "Oh, we're gonna make a Chibnall joke, aren't we?"
I could talk about script. We could legitimately turn this around and make it the greatest podcast because
Mike, save that for Doctor Who reviews because you're on for the last episode of the new season. So I know you're going to drop that on us, and God help us all. But for now,
I'm going to make it official here. Unless something wild changes, that will be my pick.
Pick the Wrath
I'm
of
going to have
Opera.
to fucking talk about Zagreus, goddammit.
Are you really?
Yes.
I see. I want to be there for the fun of it, but yeah, there's an interesting bit in the opening of the episode, playing off of the weird rules of leaping, where Sam bumps his head on a stage light, where the original girl would be too short to bump her head, and they're like, "What was that? How did you manage to hit your head on that thing?" And it's interesting in the sense of trying to figure out what about space and occupying volume in the leap.
Funny enough, I think we see Sam hit his head on the lamp. For everybody else, they probably saw the light fall, and when the light fell, it hit her in the head. That's probably what happened to everyone else.
Subjective reality, but there is another precedent for this. There's a season 5 leap that I once again forget the name of.
That's not Running for Honor. That's the other. Nowhere to Run.
Nowhere to Run, where Sam is a Vietnam veteran who lost both his legs in Vietnam, but Sam still has legs, so he's got to pretend, And at one point, he gets up and it looks to the person like this guy who has his legs off below the knee is just hovering. So weirdness with space and leaping, but season 5 is this whole other weird thing. God help us if we spin that on the wheel. Can we talk about the scene on the city streets at night?
Yeah. So Sam tries to get the girls to go home because it's late at night and they're all teenage girls. Again, they are 15 years old. They are 15 years old.
That will
we find out. We literally find this out that Sam finds out what time it is and is like, "What the hell are we doing? Come up, we gotta go home." And so start walking down the street, and they get accosted by some ruffians, possibly gang members. We don't know, but we do know is that they start hitting on the three girls. And when they start getting a little rough, Sam promptly kicks them with his karate and taekwondo, and then they call her a superhero for pretty much pulling that out of her hat.
It's better than that. He knees him in the balls.
that
Good. But also, Sam is just the
That's what should have
quintessential.
happened. See, I'm gonna cut you off for a second. That should have what happened to the bad guy of the episode.
It should have. It should have.
Yep.
Sam is just the quintessential golden retriever in human form. He's just like, oh, geez, it's past your bedtime. We should go home. I love him. Also, agreeing with that sentiment is another. Well, it's not it's an antagonistic force, not really an antagonist.
He's not really. He's not even like. Yeah, it's like he's a side character with like baggage. Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reverend.
The Reverend
Okay,
is one of the girls.
so to avoid having to, I know we want to save the full quantum leap in Christianity talk for a different episode, but can we talk about it a little bit so that way we don't have to talk about the baddie of this episode?
Yes. Keep your sanity, please.
Yes,
talk
because,
about it.
I would rather us lump all the talk about the bad guy of the episode in one chunk, where we basically don't have to ever talk about the bad. We're trying to avoid his name because the more we give credence to him, the more we're just in pain.
I honestly don't remember his name.
Bobby Lee.
Oh, god damn it.
Now you remember. We had to say it at some point, Sean.
But
So-
when we talk about him,
So, quantum leap in Christianity.
Please.
right. So, given the last time's episode, given that this is coming in late because we fucked up the recording, oh god, I have to talk about this fucking episode again.
There's no we.
Yeah,
I fucked it up.
Yeah, I always assume that I fucked it up because that's how every single podcast I've been on before I started guesting on various this related podcasts in this unnamed channel kept ending up. Every fucking time, I swear.
Gremlins in the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so last time we had an episode where a girl is running away from home for a variety of reasons and has to be she has to find a place or she'll die.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have a young girl who wants to do the. I'm just going to use the terminology that's frequently used when talk about non-Christian music, the devil's tongue. With her father, who is a reverend, who is. It's more complicated than just I don't like this pop music, but at the same time, it's very much in there.
Yeah, it's you the last two podcasts you've really said that this has kind of been like it's kind of have a touch of conservatism in it, but not like the modern day conservatism, if you get what I mean. It's more of just like growing and changing.
Well, I mean, the show's written by boomers, so a little bit of that juice is getting in there, you know?
Yeah, it's really getting in there and it's really adapting and changing. One of the main problem I have, after having a week now to mull over Song for the Soul, is that it really is trying to hammer in like a false narrative about the main person that Sam's here to help. And I say that because throughout the entire episode, she wants to have her voice more well known than just singing at her father's church. But the way she's going about it is basically going to this dingy bar, or and when her friends try to outright help her, i.e. when Sam is like talking to like a record person, is like, hey, can you come listen and see how we are? Maybe that can help. She doubles down on the dingy bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like you can't have faith and be a musician. Johnny Cash literally exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God, we could be watching Swan Song instead.
Swan Song?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Columbo.
Oh, a Columbo. Okay.
That's Columbo episode. Oh my god, that one. Oh yeah.
I'm not familiar.
I swear to God. Even now, we find connections back to Columbo.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
just basic synchronicity, Mike.
yeah, it's not like we had the Pliers playing in last week's Leap connecting to fucking Twin Peaks. This is just me wanting to watch Columbo instead of this episode.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. To be fair, I'd say a Columbo might be better than this episode. I'm sorry to say. I haven't even seen Columbo.
yeah. This episode. Now that we kind of got told, two important tidbits. We saved one, but for right now, we knew, the first one, that this is written in 72 hours. You can really see it, even right at the beginning, when the Reverend steps out and he's like, why are, maybe you can explain to me why my 15-year-old daughter is outside at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, get inside, and you really just get this idea. If you're not Sam, the Reverend, the person he's here to help, Lynette, or the villain in this particular episode, it's like you're just a caricature.
Yeah, you're just not even that. You're a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, and I think that's which is weird, because not even even Al feels like that in this episode. One of the main people of the show feels.
But guess to this fun fact.
Oh, you mean the other fun fact from the book?
Yes.
Yeah, the one
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Please,
so okay.
Please introduce the person.
Okay, so I'm reading this book. I'm looking at all the fun little facts, and so the writer of this episode is Deborah Pratt, who major creative voice on Quantum Leap, the voice of Ziggy herself, even, and has written and directed for the show many times in the capacities I can't recall right now, and I don't have time to sift through the reference book to find them all. But
I think she came back for the new series.
yeah, she did. She
did.
she directed
First
the
until she died.
Oh yeah.
What?
No, she's still around. Oh, sorry, she's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah, she directed the.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Star Trek one.
Oh
yeah. Barrett. But anyway, Fresno, please
Major
continue.
Barrett. Okay, yeah. Deborah Pratt, yeah, she eventually directed, I think, one of the rebooted Quantum Leap episodes, Family Style,
Yep.
I think it was.
2 of them.
Oh, 2? What was the other one?
She's credited for Family Style and The Outsider.
Outsider. Jeez. It's so vague. I cannot even remember what episode that was, but if I knew the plot.
I think that's the Wild West episode.
The Wild West episode, really? I don't know. Either way, we're getting off track. Deborah Pratt's little factoid that she said here, which apparently, according to the footnote, she revealed on that actual other Quantum Leap podcast. So, are we stealing tea from another podcast here by reading this? It's cited in this book.
I'd read it anyway, because it needs to be known.
Listen. I paid $66 for this book, so, I feel like I've earned the chance to say it. Anyway, Deborah Pratt based the arguments between Lynette and the Reverend on her own arguments between herself and her partner, Donald P. Belisario, the creator of the show.
Looking it up, it appears that The Outsider is the one right after The Family Treasure.
Oh, okay. Now I know what one it is. Okay.
Yeah, now I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that weird news reporter one.
Something about a reporter.
Yeah, okay. That's a fine episode.
And she wrote 20 episodes of Quantum Leap over the course of its 5 seasons.
Oh, goddamn. Including this one.
But yeah, that kind of gets the feel. Like, the first time around, I kind of liked the thing between between Lynette and her dad. There was kind of like, some interesting dynamic between them, and there was some interesting things about like how the truth is being twisted between the two of them. Now that we know that this is literally based off of
Domestic
that, will be
disputes.
thrown out the window.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. There's a-
Sorry, we lost you for a second there, Mike.
Basically, what I was saying was this: it feels like what I was saying was how connected. Let me try and speak. I'm stumbling
Take your
myself
time.
over my
Take your
words.
time.
How frustrated I am with this
Yeah, I know. I know.
particular piece of information.
Mm.
I personally liked the little talk. How one mistruth and misrememberings, and that was leading to this, and they just needed to come together and talk and see how each other were. And then you find out that this is like written because of like actual family drama pushed into this episode. All that gets tossed out the window.
Oh dear.
Yep.
All that goodwill that I had towards those conversations now take on this sort of uncomfortable feeling when you realize they're based off of real conversations.
Especially once you put into mind the fact that the person having these conversations in real life were two grown adults, and in this one, it's a 15-year-old girl and her father. Which, I mean, say what you will about Temple of Doom, at least Willie Scott's a fucking adult.
Ugh. Many things could be said about the Temple of Doom,
Oh my
but
god!
we will not get into them here.
I've said this before, and I'd be glad to say it. I'd rather watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or Dial of Destiny than I would watch Temple of Doom again.
I mean, Crystal Skull is actually charming if you give it a second watch.
Exactly.
Though Dial of Destiny is...
No.
No, I can't justify watching Dial of Destiny ever again.
I hear good things about that Great Circle game, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Great
sure.
Circle is literally like another movie, like Fate of Atlantis.
Oh, the Fate of Atlantis is lit anyway. R.I.P. that poor capybara. But that information, that little factoid about the behind the scenes does not do the episode exactly in favor. I suppose you can see, in the most charitable readings possible, if I have to play devil's advocate, you can see a way where you're trying to get to a utopian sense of understanding somebody and understanding their perspective, and you argue, but you learn a truth about them that you didn't know before, and it changes your perspective on them, the same as you do with an argument.
Laundry.
But dirty
On
laundry.
the other
That's what it is.
On the other hand, and if I'm being honest, a Quantum Leap episode about a divorce would be fascinating. Have Sam leap into the child of two parents who are going through an extremely messy divorce and try to find a way through.
You love liberation.
Oh,
You
Okay.
you would love liberation. It's not a child, but it basically, because of Sam, that episode when Sam gets in and he starts to do what he does, he basically creates the thing that his Leapy and her husband get into a messy divorce. And so then Al basically has to say, you have to save the person you're here to save, but now you also have that they get divorced.
That episode is about, and I hope I'm getting the number right here, second wave feminism? In the 1970s?
It's the women's lib movement.
Out of curiosity, are there any Quantum Leap episodes where the person Sam leaps into is either not white or not a guy, where the episode isn't an issue story of some sort?
I'm trying to think.
What's the one where where he leaps into a chimpanzee in the space?
Of all the things, you cite that one?
No, well, I mean, it matches Sean's criteria.
I mean, well, oddly enough, I'm
the
thinking of
monkey is a guy, right?
yes.
No, he leads into an actual freaking chimpanzee.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but male monkey.
A male chimpanzee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah,
so. I
male
believe so.
chimpanzee. Yes.
Anyway, it's not Sam, but I am thinking of the bounty hunter episode in New Quantum Leap season 1, where that's the first woman leap for Ben, and it's not really issues. It's more, oh, we've got to deal with this bounty, and also make sure. And again, it's make sure that these two get together.
Hell, even the one in classic Quantum Leap is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Boy, we really are talking around Song for the Soul, aren't we?
Yeah, we're trying to basically.
I really do not want to talk about the baddie.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm gonna rip off the Band-Aid here, ladies and gentlemen. The reason we're talking around this episode a lot is that this is pretty much an episode where, again, the main plot is that it's Sam trying to help a daughter talk to her father about proving what she wants. The person blocking that goal between getting her to talk to past her father is an owner of a dingy bar named Bobby Lee.
Short answer, Dr. Luke. He's Dr. Luke.
Eric LaSalle. I never watched ER, but I gather that Dr. Luke is a lot more charming and charismatic than this piece of shit.
No, sorry. Dr. Luke isn't from ER.
Oh.
Dr. Luke was Kesha's as producer.
Oh, see, this is why I don't know about ER. You said doctor, I assumed. Okay. Scrub that. Yeah, you're on the mark. Bobby Lee, Eric LaSalle may be a charismatic actor on ER. I don't know. I never watched the show, but the character he is playing here, and he plays the character with full aplomb, is a complete piece of shit.
Yeah. If you still have it, Fresno, you should play the Quantum Leap scumbag or douchebag alarm right here, right about now.
Well, if I don't have it, I'll fucking remake the thing and put it right in there. Editor Fresno, do your magic. Quantum scumbag alert. Quantum scumbag alert.
Yeah.
G-Kids, the North American distributor for Studio Ghibli e-films, is using a statement about Princess Mononoke's re-release to perhaps make an oblique commentary on the recent release of an AI tool that replicates the style of the studio.
Sean, you're making me laugh. I swear to God.
Oh no!
In a statement, Chance Husky, VP of Distribution for G-Kids, said, "In a time when technology tries to replicate humanity, we are thrilled that audiences value a theatrical experience that respects and celebrates Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli's masterpiece in all its cinematic hand-drawn glory."
Michael, Sean has checked out of the building. Please talk about Bobby Lee.
Yeah, basically, while Sean's sanity has now fully left the building, what we learned about Bobby Lee from the very beginning is not nice. Basically, when Sam re-meets him after the night of singing, and they go back to meet him for the first time and have Al actually there, you find out that Bobby Lee here will spend 20 years in prison for statutory rape.
Through the darkness of future past, the magician longs to see one chance out between two worlds. Fire, walk with me.
Now, see, that's a much better story about abuse and terrible things happening to young girls than A Song for the Soul.
Do you tell? Audience, can you tell how much we have soured on this episode in the past week after learning many of these things?
To be fair, you only learned about 2 of these things last night when I got this book.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then we also learned earlier in the week that we are going to have to do Elite to Die for, so I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Life is pain, life is suffering. This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The horse is the white of the eyes and dark within.
Yeah, you know, this is reminding me of the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Sanity has once again left the building.
You know, Sean, you could have pulled like I did for the arc and just not come and released a statement of screaming.
Unfortunately, I was here for the last time we recorded this, so it wouldn't be fair.
All right. Yeah. He's playing fair. So
yeah, he was here last time, so he's here this time. But yeah, so now we can try and we're gonna have to mention the big thing of Bobby Lee. Basically, when Sam finally stands up to Bobby Lee in the thing, thinking, "Oh, I can, this will be the way to, save the Bleeper once and for all and get her to talk to her father and everything will be good." Bobby Lee then decides, you know what, you three aren't gonna sing now, because she stands up to him and she says, "I want you to apologize before I let you up there." And then you have Lynette basically going, "You need to apologize."
we need to wrestle with the full ramifications of this for the people at home. Because
fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yes. I know. It's bad, it's awful, but we must maintain some level of professionalism for the viewers at home. So they're practicing in Bobby Lee's club, and while Sam is distracted with music sheets, Bobby Lee takes Lynette to the backstage to show her these fancy new satin sequin pink dresses. And then 2 seconds later, hey, where's Lynette? I'll send her in on her. Oh my god!
Fun fact, this episode does not have a "where are they now" thanks to Sam's intervention.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, and there should have been, but Bobby Lee pretty much holds them hostage. Pretty much holds their singing career hostage until he gets an apology from.
Yeah, you need to apologize for stopping me from forcing myself upon that young woman right now.
And the worst thing is,
Sam actually
he has to actually do it.
Please let us sing in your club, Mr. Convicted Sex Offender, please. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Thank God the
You know what? I'm not gonna wait. Now I'm getting a little mad. There is no denouement where Al says, "Oh, they end up to get So Lynette and her father, they end up hashing it out and they live happily ever after. Oh, and Bobby Lee, he gets 20 years in prison and then 3 years in he gets shanked. There's none of that. There's no comeuppance for Bobby Lee. The book.
There is and that's why I think, and that's the worst thing, is when you find out how rushed this episode is, it really does. Like, there are other episodes that deal in harsh topics.
Whoa.
In this series that were so much more well done.
Guys.
Trial of Katie McBain being one of them.
Guys.
We will be getting to that one of these days.
I opened the book.
Yeah.
Y'all, I opened the book again. Guess what? They did have a "where are they now?" They cut it.
Oh, fuck off!
For good. Well, okay, what happened? I want to hear this.
Okay. After the point where Sam leaps out in the final version, Al explains that in the revised history, Linnell stays at her father's church, becomes a doctor, gets married, and goes to medical school.
So then what's the point of... That just defeats the point! That just defeats the point of her going to her dad to sing.
Maybe that's why they cut it. I don't know.
Yeah, so originally when we watched this, I didn't care for it because it was crap. But the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I'm morally opposed to everything this episode stands for, and I want it to die screaming.
Oh boy.
Here's the thing. Many Quantum Leap episodes are good. But it's like the more we learn about this particular episode, it's like everything bad that could have happened in production happened.
And I thought I'd only get this mad at running for honor. Jesus.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Here's the thing, though. No. Here's the thing. Running for honor, running for honor, like, like Al's entire thing for it. Yeah, it's. But at least they try to have Sam, step in and act. And he doesn't he isn't snooty or he's trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, it's just. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, we had not had, again, the first take was a lot more friendlier. The more we learn about this episode, the more it just doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ending song, and I liked the ending too. I liked it, where you had the Reverend, after coming to see his daughter sing at the bar, goes to talk to Sam, and he finally says that maybe I should accept, Lynette and all that. And he tries to, and here she comes wearing the same dress Bobby Lee got her, but she steps in and just starts singing this beautiful song.
A nice
and
hymn.
the leap, and it just. There are moments in this episode that are good, but why does it have to be wrapped in so much?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this one anymore. Can we please spin the wheel?
All right,
Yes,
all right.
I need the wheel to be linked.
Okay,
again,
okay,
please.
hang on. Let me wrap it up a little. Let me wrap it up nicely. Be a little bit professional and wrap the thing up. So, A Song for the Soul, on our initial watch, was a bit of a miss, but I did give it the benefit of the doubt, and I had a rousing little speech about how, original Quantum Leap had 97 episodes, 4 seasons with 22 episodes each. There were bound to be some duds. They weren't all going to be transcendental winners. Wish that we did live in a world where that sort of thing is possible, but you cannot make 22 absolute 10 out of 10 bangers of television in 9 months. It can't be done. The humans cannot work that efficiently. It doesn't happen. I mean, you see it with all sorts of these running shows, even like Next Generation or, well, other stuff even. I don't know why.
So what are your feelings now, Fresno?
Definitely lessened by some of the things I've learned.
The moral of the story is you should never give the benefit of the doubt to television from the past. The past was a mistake.
The past was a mistake, and
so now as I load up the wheel,
I'm not done yet, Mike. I'm not done yet.
Last time was going to be.
I'm not done yet, Mike. I'm not done yet. Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
I know you're eager to get this sucker in the can, but you gotta let me steer the ship here. So
sorry.
Yeah, Song for the Soul. Apparently, these two did not care for it that much the first time around. The second time around, with the knowledge, the knowledge from this tome, the cursed knowledge of a researcher. No, we're just kidding, Matt Dale. You were a fine fella to compilate all this data and stuff about the show. You really showed your love for it, and we miss you terribly. But that being said, with that extra added context, we can go, oh, holy shit, this is kind of a disaster, isn't it? It reflects some dirty laundry that should not have been reflected on the national television. It has a denouement that was cut out either because it flew against the theme of the episode or they just didn't bother, and as such it has a villain that doesn't really get his comeuppance. I mean, there is a line from Al that's like, oh, he later goes to jail for statutory, but that's not, scumbag of the week comeuppance. He just sort of gets away with it, and he gets apologized to. Apologize to me for stopping me from doing what I want. And they do it, and nothing fucking happens to him after that. So, leaves a real bad taste in your mouth. So, I think, on further reflection, we unfortunately have to dub A Song for the Soul a miss. And that's probably being a little more generous than you two would say. But if you have harsher words, now is the time.
So we could be doing literally anything else.
True.
I don't have any word. You've pretty much taken the words out of my mouth. I mean, first time round, it had some good bits. I was willing to give those good bits. It was bumpy, Then the second time round, the more you learn about it, it isn't. It literally feels like the first draft of a Quantum Leap. You know what it is? It's a Chibnall script for Quantum Leap.
You did that. You said that at the top of the show, Mike.
I know.
3
I'm saying it
days.
again.
3 days.
I'm saying it again.
Wait, I was thinking, is there a Chibnall era script that was rushed like that? And then I remember
Yeah,
Battle of
it's called the Battle of Ranskarov.
the
What's
Battle
the
of
last
Rancid
part?
Avocado.
Crab Rangoon. The Battle of Crab Rangoon.
Yeah, that was a first draft, but I don't know if it was literally written in a weekend.
I think Rosa was written in a weekend.
Yeah. Orphan 55 might have been shot in a weekend.
I'm trying to think.
Actually, you know what Doctor Who example I can think of that was literally written in a weekend. It's not a Chibnall era, but but he is entwined in it. The Ultimate Foe.
I mean, the alternative is to go with. I'm trying to think. What was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Ultimate Foe, but also Horns of Naimon.
That was that? Oh wait. But then again, fucking. You know what? I'm thinking of another example of a Doctor Who story that was hastily written in a weekend under tight crunches. And you know what that fucker was? The City of
What?
Death.
That's the weird thing, though, because that one is hailed as one of the greatest Doctor Who episodes.
Well,
Yeah, but the thing with the City of Death is that Douglas Adams wasn't rushing because he because he was in a hurry. He was rushing because he kept procrastinating.
Yeah.
I was told, you either write this episode or you don't get to leave the hotel room.
So they just stuck him there.
Douglas Adams could literally sneeze into a handkerchief and it come out with like a script.
Yeah, and you know, Douglas Adams in Deadlines, he had that line. You know, I love Deadlines. I love the whooshing sounds they make as they go over your head. Anyway, I think we can spin the wheel now, Mike.
Right.
Okay, so before I click the wheel, the first time round, this landed on her charm.
Which we were happy with.
This, which we put back on here for posterity's sake, because
And also was written by Deborah Pratt.
Well, there
yes, and it's a lot better, a whole heck of a lot better.
Well, I can tell you who wrote
this time round, let's see what we get as I click the wheel. Wheel, when you spin, let's see where we shall land. That's Lee Harvey Oswald. Let's not.
Fuck that, respin.
Yeah, we're respinning. That's Lee Harvey Oswald again.
Or no, bullshit.
I guess the universe wants us to talk about
No,
Lee Harvey Oswald.
No, respin. No whammies.
We're respinning again.
No whammies.
Holy crap.
Oh no.
Lee Harvey Oswald a third time?
Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, Dr. Ruth.
Fuck!
Oh boy. Yes. Season 5. Who wrote Dr. Ruth? Let me flip to my book and find out who wrote Dr. Ruth.
What?
Starlight.
We were just one away from the Columbo sampler.
Columbo? No, yeah, we're literally in between the Columbo sampler and Blood Moon.
Blood Moon. Written by Robin Jill Bernheim. Directed by Stuart Margolin.
Dr. Ruth. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the book again. I'm going to be looking at this book for the rest of this podcast, by the way. Just to think. Also known in Germany, the title of this episode is and I apologize, I do not speak German. Die Sextant, the sex ant.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck!
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my gee. Honestly, we were so close to getting Liberation. This could have been a brilliant connection piece. No, we get Dr. Ruth.
I look. I have a soft spot in my heart for Dr. Ruth. Whether that soft spot will survive a rewatch, I don't know.
Episode.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got Lee Harvey Oswald a third time, I think we'd have had to do Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, we don't have to do that, but we do have to venture into season 5. So to give these two the sweet, sweet relief they need to do literally anything else besides talk about this episode, where can you find us, lovely people? All right, I answer that question now. That's right. You can find us on Bluesky at Freezing Inferno, at Michael Hoovian, at DeathChrist2000. We have blogs. They are linked down below. Please also listen to Rainiac's Doctor Who reviews and Kuchiri's Kamen Rider reviews on this podcast network that has yet to be named.
And go visit Doctor Who reviews in 10 weeks when these crazy lunatics will be listening to the 40th anniversary special, Zagreus.
Well.
I will help push us back from talking about Zagreus.
You will? Will you really?
I will try.
You'll try. And while I'm at it, buy Beyond the Mirror Image by the late Matt Dale. I'll link it down below. If you like Quantum Leap, if you're listening to this thing and you've got some money to spare, this I have not really gone through the reference book yet. I've only just looked at the segment on the episode we just did, which illuminated things in horrific ways. So this is going to be a constant companion going forward, and you should get your own copy, And also, it helps support his family, who now have to go on without him. Very tragic, I know, but, well, it is what it is. So, anything else, kids? Anything else to plug?
I'm just, we could have had, I'm just thinking about a lot of things at the moment, and it's not, when you think about it, next time will be a lighter thing, because I like the Dr. Ruth episode. It's got a little bit of a darker turn, as we'll discuss there, but it'll be better. It'll have...
I'm going to share my theory on... well, not my theory. My main takeaway of Dr. Ruth when I first watched it is that it's almost a perfect vertical slice of Quantum Leap. Whether or not that holds up to scrutiny, we'll see. Sean, anything else to plug? You're writing comics for critique for The Beat still?
Among other places, yeah. Generally just bumming around, currently doing research for the big project, which I'm doing, Fresno.
Oh, I know what you're doing. You've been mired in that for quite some time. I hope you come out the other end with some sanity intact.
Yep. 2 years. Anyway, I'm gonna go read Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin. It's much better than watching this shit.
Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice.
And now I get to go pull Fresno into watching Murder Road. Goodbye, everybody.
Say goodnight, Fresno.
I don't even know what he just said, but I'm afraid. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for watching this.
Join us next time, ladies and gentlemen. Join us next time, ladies and gentlemen. As in the meantime, I will be pulling Fresno to go watch some Murder She Wrote, and we'll see you next time on Dr. Ruth. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, Mike, how's Sailor Moon and I don't even remember the other thing. Batman.
The animated series.
Sailor Moon and Batman. How are those going?
Hey, Sailor Moon will be picking up back on the 1st of April. So
April Fool's,
when
kids.
are you gonna start Utena?
Oh God, yeah, I need to start that too. There you go. Speaking of things,
that Canadian show. What's it called?
The Odyssey. Oh, they don't know half of that. Yeah. I have been procrastinating for far too long.
Tell everybody, we're trying to really escape Song for the Soul.
Well, we can escape it right now by me saying thank you very much for watching. Apologies for this being so goddamn scuffed, but our sanities were at the breaking point. please understand. Good night. See you next time for Dr. Ruth. Thank you very much for listening. If you are watching, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy whatever it is you watch next. And we still miss you, Matt. Good night, everybody.